the most important episode of all time, I think, because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Vince Quinn is no longer depressed about Russell Wilson. Thank you to the Washington Commanders for trading for Carson Wentz from the Colts, where nobody was going to trade for him. He was going to get cut, and here comes Dan Snyder. That's what I love. So you're back. You're back.
I'm back. I for all the misery and sadness that was the last time that we spoke, as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, and going through the division and thinking about where everything is and just what a disaster. This is one of the worst trades you could possibly make by a team that I could not hate anymore, and it is perfect in every single way. I love everything about this Wentz trade.
Yeah, me too. From people thinking, especially our good friend Louis DiBiase over there from Locked On Eagles, just this take has been going through Eagles Twitter over the last 12 hours. Washington's now a much better football team. Have you heard this?
Really?
The talent is just as equal as the Eagles, and they got better at quarterback. No,
Bullshit.
they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm hating today is the Colts have a massive hole at quarterback now. No, they don't. They had a massive hole with Carson Wentz as their quarterback, and now they're free as birds. Yeah, granted, with a lot less assets, and they're really stupid for doing that, but the world is their oyster, and they actually have a chance to make the playoffs without Carson Wentz being there. Don't you think Taylor Heinicke is just as eligible to take Washington to the playoffs as Carson Wentz? Because I certainly do.
Yes.
What are we really holding on to anymore? This man is going to be a rival. Let's go mock him. This is great. This is fantastic. I couldn't be happier where Carson Wentz landed.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Taylor Heinicke is the same guy. And you know what? He has actual confidence, where Wentz doesn't have that anymore. Like, this is such a layup. Francisco, can you look up Heinicke's contract? I want to see how much he's making.
Dirt cheap.
Because he can't be worth a damn thing. The guy was in, the USFL or the AAF or something like that. He was in some other league. And then he comes out of nowhere, plays well in a playoff game, which, by the way, Wentz has never done in his life. Hasn't even played in a playoff game.
Hey, there was
other
that
than
9 minutes
5
in Seattle.
snaps. Yeah. So, Taylor Heinicke, you've seen a guy that's played in the playoffs, is the same kind of wily guy, runs around, has a big enough arm. He does stuff that Wentz can do. Costs you nothing. He's already been there. You traded for that guy. When your division rival, you watched him melt down there. You saw the contract fall apart. The most casual of football fans should have seen everything around Wentz with how he left Philly, how he fell apart, how he goes to the Colts, how he fell apart, and know that this is every red flag imaginable. They throw multiple third-rounders at him. They have a conditional that can become a second. They trade and take all of the salary on. The Lions got rid of Jared Goff or took on Jared Goff and got rewarded in picks for taking on his contract.
Yeah.
They upped their pick load and took on the contract. By the way, they're going to suck ass. This team blows. So now, Wentz is going to implode. Those picks are going to climb, and they're going to give up quality draft picks and pay all the salary. There's nothing smart about this trade whatsoever.
Francisco, what is his contract?
Yeah, so I got Heinicke's contract here. It's 2 years, $0.75 mil. He's on the second year this year.
So okay,
wow.
So they decided to upgrade for Carson Wentz. Is Taylor Heinicke 14 times worse than Carson Wentz?
Not at all.
No,
but Wentz
they're
is
the
better,
same
right?
guy.
Wentz is the better quarterback, correct?
I mean, in
Is he?
talent, yes.
If Taylor Heinicke played for the Colts, would you know the difference?
Yeah, Wentz still had a good season last year.
He's 20 and
handing
9
off
or
the
something?
football, yeah.
Yeah, but his
throwing,
numbers
big
were
throws
still
when he
good.
needed to.
Most of the season, generally, he was a good quarterback. He just crapped the bed when it mattered the most. I mean, can we agree on that?
Well, yeah, that's why they
let's-
got rid of him. But would Heinicke crap the bed like that because he played the game of his life against Tom Brady in the fucking playoffs? So no. And what he put up again, if he had that offensive line, Pittman and Taylor and all that stuff, I bet they're the same guy. If I was the Colts, I'm surprised they didn't get Heinicke back. If you're going to trade Wentz, okay, fine, take Wentz. Clearly, you're not starting Heinicke. We'd love to have him.
Gardner Minshew puts the Colts in the playoffs.
Does he?
Oh,
no.
I like this.
Stop that.
I like this.
I hate you. What are you talking about? Gardner?
If Carson Wentz had a good year last year, then I'm fucking Elmer Fudd. You know what I'm saying?
might be.
I might be. I am the world's biggest genius. I am everything that situation is. Carson Wentz did not have a good year last year.
What has
Why is
Gardner
this-
Minshew showed you the last
He
couple
can
of years?
hand off a football just like Carson Wentz can
Yeah, but he
to
still
one of
has
the
to
best
throw the
offensive
football
lines,
well.
one of the best
They would
running
have
backs
won
in the
like
league.
5 or 6 games, John.
There's no way that's true.
Yes, they would have won like 5 or 6 games.
I can't
Minshew's not even a
imagine.
bad quarterback, but
That's what I mean.
He's
Forget
not substantially better. Like Wentz isn't substantially better than Minshew. He's better.
Does-
I would honestly, I think Wentz is a better talent, but it's
there?
yes,
In
because
regular
he's
season, yeah.
dude. He's already proven it. Nick Foles probably gets that team to the playoffs.
You can't even stay healthy.
Kirk
the whole
Cousins gets
season,
that
though.
team
Hold
to
on,
the
though.
playoffs.
Hold on. Is this Foles time then?
For them, I would. That's the cheapest, easiest version of what you can do. And then
He's gonna get
the,
cut.
The Colts just go draft a quarterback in the second round.
Yeah, or he's a free agent if he's not a free agent.
I think
Foles
I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
He was begging to go to the Colts last year.
Yeah. And wouldn't that be hilarious how
Was
this thing
he?
ends? Yeah. He said in a press conference preseason,
Yeah.
and sitting there basically yelling at Frank Reich to go get him. His relationship's been so good. I know me and Carson have some history, but me and Frank could go get it done, essentially. I think he was trying to pine for the job, and now he has an opportunity to go do it on, probably like a $20 million one-year deal or something,
Not
right?
even. You could
18?
pay. He's worth nothing right now. He's a backup. He died in Jacksonville. He died in Chicago. He's not worth anything. You could pay him $4 million and just go, Nick, you could start. He'll take that.
Yeah, and this is – I can't wait for him to do the same thing here because it's – I think Washington and Dan Snyder have that 2019 season stuck in their head of Miles Sanders catching that football in the end zone when it's, and the same thing as every other GM and coach that have vowed for this guy to say that 2017 season's still in there, but that's what's hilarious throughout this whole Carson Wentz drama, at least for me. Now you have Jeff McClain, and by the way, just want to shout out Joe Santoliquito one more time. If you have not listened to our interview from last week, please go do so because all of this is completely relevant to what he originally reported and getting yanked out of Philadelphia media for reporting this truth, which is right here. Jeff McClain, I got to admit something. I think I got my story wrong, by the way, when it came to I thought Doug Peterson and Jim Schwartz had a big fight before the divisional round. I said it on the pod. That was something that was told to me.
That's not true.
I'm just saying, from Jeff McClain's reporting, he puts the timeline of Carson Wentz blowing up with a player
Right.
the week of, I don't think he was very specific on it, but the week of the divisional game with the Falcons, it goes on to say that he had said to all the other injured reserve players that were there, so that includes Peter Sproles. It was rumored to be Sproles in this scenario as I'm telling this, but said basically I wish we weren't as good. Right? That was kind of like the impression you got from the article. I wish
gives
we
off those vibes too. Wentz, we can all believe this, right?
they're going to win the Super Bowl without me. I wish they
and we
wouldn't.
all see that in him. Just everything that's me and Vince were talking about this on Greg's podcast yesterday. Looking back on it, it all makes sense. We can all see that in his personality and the way things have unraveled. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's totally believable. And I was one of those guys that I was, all behind Carson's back. Or
We all were.
Yeah,
We all were.
No, not all of us. That's not true. There were a lot of people that were on the Foles side.
After the Super Bowl, that's
right,
different.
right,
but I'm
right.
just saying,
I'm talking about even the last 2019, 2020.
exactly. But in all of this, Carson's been the same person since he's walked into that building and has never changed. And if you have the balls, and I put this out on Twitter, if Jason Peters is in that room, he's going to want to suplex Carson Wentz if he's saying anything along the lines of, I wish we wouldn't win the Super Bowl this year because I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, how do you say that as an NFL player? Period.